We're doing a burnout, a full-on burnout into the last week of August. It's kind of the end of summer. We're talking about a strike vote, common sense hybrid, supercharger screens, and streetwear. A very unexpected brand.
Totally unexpected, but completely amazing at the same time.
It's a fun story. I think we have something to learn about, CERN.
We do. So I think that the most learning the first few stories are educational today, and I'm happy we lean in a little educational, but the end, that's a whole lot of fun. Speaking of educational mixed with fun, Paul.
Do we go? Quick one.
You just got a quick. Hey, we've got ASOTU CON coming up. Oh my goodness. It's less than 30 days away. If you don't have your tickets.
It's actually 1 month from today is the welcome reception.
Is that what it is?
1 month from today.
Unbelievable. Wow. It's going to be absolutely nuts. We've got a little highlight video for the people, little pump reel.
It's a good way to start.
That you're going to want to check out. So if you're watching live, you can see it all on all of its beauty. If you're listening, imagine just all of the feels in video from the audio that you're about to hear. Roll the tape.
Okay, we're on the stage here in Baltimore at the scene of ASOTU CON 2023 collaboration critical.
It is going to be September, the night of the 25th. We kick off the welcome reception, and then a full 2 days.
We're going to have all the energy, all the experts, all the swag, and all the feels that you expect from the ASOTUverse as we rewrite the narrative around the retail auto industry together.
25th through 27th. That was like the chill vibes.
Chill vibes one.
Listen, go to ASOTUcon.com, just click on all speakers and look at the speaker list. This is not an event where we're going to become and relax and just have fun. We have real practitioners who are in the dirt every day coming to share their best practices, share what's going on the ground, help answer your questions and your team's questions to help get you going in the right direction, get you unstuck. You know what it is? It's like the most, elaborate 20 group ever. We're not sharing financial statements, but you never know.
No, I mean, I was talking to Gary Ledoux and Melissa Cartagena. So Gary Ledoux, Modern Automotive Group, and Melissa of Auto Nation. And they're going to be talking with Kevin Gervais of Auto Genius about getting real data out of a CDP. You've heard this term CDP for really the last 18 months, and everybody's talking about it. Brian Pash is talking about it. Everybody has come out with their own quote unquote CDP, but it's not just something to have it. It's actually to be actionable. So that I guarantee that room is going to be packed because it's like, okay, I have this thing. What do I do with it now? And these are real practitioners that are actually doing stuff with the data.
Yeah. So go to ASOTUcon.com, get your tickets now, especially if you're a dealer, you still get $100 off until September 1st. Baltimore BWI is really easy to get to as well. And the venue is it's closer, like on the way to Annapolis. It's 10 minutes south of the airport. Real easy to get to. And we hope you can join us there. If you have any questions, please just reach out, hit us at crew@asotu.com. You know how to get to us. So get to us. We hope to see you there and hang out with you there. Speaking of hanging out,
Hey.
Segue.
we got a bonus story. When the strike talks started to ramp up, we decided okay, we're going to keep everybody updated on the strike, but we're not going to get into the strike every day, right? It's that's as the world turns. But here's a little update in case you missed it. United Auto Workers at the Detroit 3 have authorized a strike. So that means they voted. And if contract talks break down by September 14th being the deadline, 97% of UAW workers voted in favor of a strike. So now it is authorized that the President Shawn Fain can execute and call a strike. He clarified, though, I love this part of the story. He clarified the goal is to achieve a good contract, not necessarily to strike. So that feels like actually the first positive rhetoric.
I'm all about it. In his verbiage, though, 4-day work weeks and 40% increase in pay are good contracts. So we'll see what exactly happens.
I guess if I was him too, I think that was a good contract as well. And if you're on the OEM side, they were like, well, we think a $50 work week and a 40% pay cut would be a good contract.
Both.
Let's meet in the middle. That's what common sense.
What's the dollars of it? What's the dollars of it, Paul? Tell them the dollars of it.
Speaking the dollars of the big dollars. Okay, so the potential economic impact of a 10-day strike, just 10 days, $5 billion with a B. wage losses, manufacturer losses, the suppliers, the small suppliers that we talked about last week, right? Which is probably some of the most impactful stuff. So let's just keep the conversation rolling and keep common sense in the front seat. Speaking of common sense,
Stop.
Segue.
Time.
this was so refreshing to read.
Oh, I love this story.
It's refreshing to read because we've been talking about it and saying this for a long time. And I think a lot of other people thinking in a common sense way also, but in what seems to be actual common sense, Ford, Toyota, and Stellantis are increasing their talk about saying we're planning on building and selling hundreds of thousands of hybrids in the US over the next 5 years as an alternative for customers seeking more sustainable transportation, but those that aren't ready to make the full jump into all the things that come with switching to EV. So this comes as dealers are actually facing a lack of demand from less affluent customers on their EVs, right? We know EV stock is increasing on lots. The early adoption curve is really flattened out. And so like, now what do we do? So Scott Kunis, it's Kunis because we had a conversation with them a couple weeks ago.
Scott. So Scott.
Pretty nice guy. The chief operating officer of Kunis Auto Group and RV Group. They sell all the Detroit brands as well as Nissan and Mitsubishi in the Midwest, kind of like the southern half of Wisconsin, I guess. They recently told Insider, we have turned away EV inventory because we need to ensure that we have a good turn on it. So that's dealer saying directly, we're turning away EV.
Not just any dealer. I think they're over 40 stores now at this point.
They ain't playing.
They're not playing. Yeah.
So S&P Global Mobility estimates the hybrids will account for 24% of new vehicle sales in 2028. That's pretty soon. Pure Electric's 30%. Wait, Pure Electric's 37%. I'm missing something here.
Yeah, I don't know about this.
No.
We'll check the math. Hang tight with us.
But the point of it is 24% hybrids by 2028. It's just a couple years now. Ford saying they expect to quadruple their hybrid sales over the next 5 years, which is something we really haven't heard from Ford about. Really,
no, not at all.
hybrids.
They haven't even been talking about hybrids.
Been EV only. So that's real promising common sense. General Motors committed still to an all-electric future. Stellantis is going to offer different powertrains, including hybrids. We've seen them leaning into that with the Jeeps and, in the states where they have these tighter emissions rules. So manufacturers will be marketing over 60 hybrids this year. And I won't say this, but, one of close to a ASOTU investor, this is side topic, Andrew DeFeo of Hyundai of St. Augustine said, a recent automotive news article, he said, hybrids are a great bridge to whatever the future holds. I've got zero in stock, and I've got customers wanting all of them, everyone I can get. So
said all Toyota dealers as well.
But isn't this kind of just all Toyota has been saying for the last 36 months?
Well, it was, and then they changed their tune because of pressure earlier this year, and now Toyota and other manufacturers coming back and going, oh wait, hold on, slow it down just a little bit. Market demands hybrids, right?
Yes.
And I think that I love this because it's the OEMs actually going, okay, market demands what we
are driving decisions.
They're starting to drive decision. That's going to be a very good thing for dealers, and this type of move and like a broad scope across OEMs saying we're going to stay with hybrids for a little bit of time as a bridge. Like I love the way Andrew said it's a bridge to EV demand is absolutely the way to go, because and especially like plug-in hybrids as being that next bridge, right?
Absolutely.
Toyota's great with a ton of hybrid vehicles that don't require plug-in. And then you go to plug-in hybrid, people figure out what it looks like to have the charger at their home, and then going full EV, that's going to be what it takes to, in my opinion, personal opinions here, to go full EV.
Dude, it's ridiculously rational to step into it that way.
Yeah.
It's beyond rational. That's what happens when the market drives demand. Rational things happen. Speaking of rational things,
yes.
What were you going to say?
All of it. I had that. I had speaking of EVs, full EVs, payments.
We have massive synergy on the show today. So a new video reveals Tesla's Supercharger version 4 with the very first tap and go payment for the first time ever. Although Tesla's not officially like unveiled the charger and the specs, the video was posted by James Court, CEO of a company called EVA England, or EVA, I guess. They're like an online community that really supports EV drivers and tries to resource them to further EV adoption. So the version 4 was spotted in action at the Tesla Theater, which is in kind of like a retail area. I guess they had naming rights maybe. It's got a significantly longer cable. So obviously that's important for accommodating non-Teslas, right? Because the port is in a different spot. Tesla is always in the same spot. Also, it's got a little screen on it, so you can tap and go, and the little video is cool. He just shows, and he's like, well, here's
and
how
this
you
is
pay
a
for
lot
it.
of people might go, well, what's so hard about like contactless payments and tap and go payments? Here's the point to this. The point is, historically, the Tesla chargers were only pay by app, right? So you pulled up, you knew which one you went, you paid by app because they were locked down to the Tesla network. What this shows is that Tesla is committed to expanding into other networks. So with the charger and the pay by tap allows other EVs to charge at that
open
EV
to
pump.
everybody.
So it's a massive move, and like shots fired, because them giving access to other EV drivers to their chargers. I cannot wait for a bunch of F-150 Lightning.
It's happening
to the
oh, they're cool now though. Jim Farley and Elon are cool. I don't know if the drivers are cool with each other.
They're cool. They've been on X together, on X Spaces or Twitter Spaces, whatever you want to call it.
It's called something, whatever you want. There's a couple points to this that I forgot about until I was like thinking through this article. In the beginning, you didn't have to pay to charge your Tesla at a Tesla Supercharger.
That's right.
And then the payments were obviously through the app. But something in the story triggered my mind is all this people have been talking about, well, Tesla is going to have to plug into every car. Or what data are they going to get from the vehicle? And if you have to pay for it, you have to pay through the Tesla app. Like, and we all know that when you put an app and you accept the terms and conditions,
well,
and
basically the minute terms and conditions are linked with payment, like merchant services terms and conditions are
retail.
They get stuff.
So obviously this is no surprise that they're moving in this direction with everybody adopting the format. But I mean, this is really a first thing where you see like, oh, just link that sucker up.
Tesla isn't a car company. They're a data company.
Oh my gosh. That proven wrong. What's that? What are the signs that people sit on the bench? Change my mind.
Change my mind.
Oh man. Speaking of changing your mind about a brand.
Whoa.
Segue.
Time. This is right. All right, we're gonna save you all of our rigmarole because the story from Retail Wire is just so sublime. If you don't know who Lockheed Martin is, we'll give you the little TLDR in just a second. But here's the story. Lockheed Martin, the American aerospace and arms company, has surprised many as it appears to have its logo featured on a streetwear collection being sold online in South Korea. The collection, including shirts, hoodies, and jackets, is sold by South Korean company Dujin Yanghang Co. The move has sparked a mix of shock, disbelief, and humor on social media platforms like X and TikTok, with users mocking the unusual crossover between a defense company and fashion, given Lockheed Martin association with military products. So basically what it is, the company, like if you go to the website, you can see up top that they acquired the official Lockheed Martin license brand through an agency. And it's not the first time that South Korea has been seen putting like mass brands on streetwear apparel. Other brands like CNN, Yale, Billboard, and Kodak have had these apparel collections in South Korea. So, but I will say, the Lockheed Martin logo, just as like a standalone logo, is fire. It's on point. You know,
who would have thought? Who would have thought? And it really, you think about some of the brands, and I guess I'm trying to think of a U.S. company that does this, like H&M.
Yeah,
they do it. You go to H&M, right? And like we've seen this big resurgence of like the NASA logo over the last 2 or 3 years, right? And there's just this element of riding with culture that is willing to like do this stuff with brands that wouldn't typically be something that you would sport. Like Kirkland Signature is another one.
That's a
right.
Great one.
What's the new one? Bass Pro Shop hats right now. Right.
Yep.
Like they're just, it's this trend where like a not cool logo to have or a not cool brand to be like, yo, this is actually fashion is now becoming fashion. And like, I'll be straight up. There are some dealers who have some really sweet old school logos that are are so old school.
That's what I'm thinking.
They're cool.
I'm not even thinking like the logos that are
looking for a
super
sticker
slick and brand new and all that type of stuff.
No, you
But
gotta
I'm
go the other way.
I'm like these goofy, you know, like logos. You're like, no, I would never put that on anything. I'm looking at some of the business cards I have right here on my desk. Even I'm like, these would actually work. This would be on brand
Old
for the
school car ads.
Yeah.
And like, so look, I mean, if it was me and I was a dealer, and especially in a metro, there are lots of small streetwear companies that have these little shops and little stores and retail or in the city that love custom local stuff, and get yourself a designer to pitch it, and then just go in and be like, hey, we will give you these. Shoot, give them the t-shirts. Let them sell the t-shirts for 40 bucks.
Why
but
not?
I can't think of a better spend of like a couple grand than giving the local cool streetwear shops some of your like vintage wear, some with and just like have these people walking around and like
walking around in your logo.
The company that's coming to mind because we've done work with them with Congruent was Frank Lita Auto Group in St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh, that logo is real. Yeah, because
but it's old school too. But like the phrases can't beat a Lita, right?
Right.
And it's just that's definitely something. It would be. So I think we could take a little cue from Lockheed Martin. I mean, if you have like kind of this, I don't know,
like old meets new.
The word that's coming to mind isn't a word I'm going to say, but like a company that supplies defense contracting and kind of is in their best interest for people to be at war, right? Especially in South Korea, right? Like there's this element like, hey, if they can do it, you can do it.
You can do it too.
Oh, well, we hope you got enough out of the show to get you going into the last week of summer. Please go to ASOTUCON.com. Check out the speakers, get a ticket, or send it to someone you know lives close, because they should be there with us then. Leave the right.